Folks, welcome to an all-new episode of So Bad It's Good. It is your pop culture roundup. It's Monday, and here with me, as always, the newly married, the co-host of the hit podcast Snarkbait, the one and only Sophie Ross Brooks. Wait, Sophie, do I call you Sophie Ross Brooks, or do I say Sophie Ross? What do I say?
I like when you call me Sophie Ross Brooks. I still professionally go by Sophie Ross and have not officially changed my name because it's way too much paperwork. So yeah, but I like when you call me that because it reminds me that,
It reminds me, okay. Sophie Ross Brooks, ladies and gentlemen. Listen, how was your weekend?
I actually gave myself permission to have like a bed rotting weekend, which I really needed. And it was perfect bed rotting weather. It was like overcast and disgusting. So yeah, how was yours?
Wait, so what does bed rotting include for you? Did you watch like shows? Did you watch just shows? Were you online constantly?
I watched shows. You know what? I'm not super into that $1 Million Secret show. It's really boring.
I really liked the first. I liked the first 3 episodes in the sense of I missed the traders. And I think, like the little challenges of like, oh, you have to hug everybody to get a clue. And I thought like those things are kind of fun. I have not watched the next 3 episodes that got released this week. So
I'm still watching them, and it's a drag. It's a drag.
Well, but what's so crazy, so that's in the top 10 of Netflix. And if you look at the top 10 of Netflix, it is just so wild what people watch in droves. Like this is
Gone Girls. Gone Girls about the Gilgo Beach, Long Island serial killer. I did watch that also.
Yeah, what'd you think of that?
It gets good in the second episode. I feel like the first episode you're kind of like, okay.
It gets good when he really starts killing.
You're like, okay, dead people. Okay, bodies found. No, I'm just kidding. My God. It's obviously a very sad story, but it has a happy ending. Rex Herman, who, by the way, was just this like 6'5" architect dad working in the city. Ew, he was so scary.
And they caught him by his fingerprints on like a pizza box because they were like
his DNA. No, his DNA on pizza crust. On the
Isn't that crazy? That's why you got to always eat your crust. But the other thing was, I think somebody else was in on it with him. Like, I think there was somebody else involved because in the first episode, it just makes it seem like this lady was at a house with multiple people that she was running away from. I don't know. Obviously, this guy...
Conspiracy theory. Are you going to crack the case wide open again?
Wouldn't it be the saddest thing in the world if this podcast was the one that broke like a true crime thing? And I'm like, no, it's mainly a pop culture show.
In the next docuseries, it like shows this exact clip.
Sorry. This is starting off really, guys, I swear to God, we are really like feeling people, but I want to, those are shows on the top 10 of Netflix right now. But of course, I feel like a kid in a candy store right now because I am so excited for the finale of White Lotus tonight. I know you thought this was, you're excited too, right?
I am too. I was disappointed by last week's episode. Remember, I was like, I feel like shit's going to finally go down. I just think last season, by this point in the season, there were like little reveals that were crazy to us. That like Daphne's kids were maybe her trainers and like Jack was fucking his quote unquote uncle,
See, I know what you're talking about, but like, I remember you saying that, and I had this past week's episode was slower than to me. That was the slowest episode.
Yeah,
I was like waiting for something, but tonight's an hour and a half, and listen, I just enjoyed the ride, and I enjoy hearing all the fan theories and things like that. I have not, I did not get a screener for this one. They didn't give out screeners, and I'm so excited because I feel like I can't wait to be surprised.
Yeah.
Who do you think it's going to be?
Ooh, I think it could be Chelsea. We got that montage of Chelsea and Rick on the beach. I feel like it has to be like maybe Chelsea. I also could see Guy Talk accidentally killing Mook. Maybe when trying to take down the Russians. I'm
hearing. See, I think the Ratliff family. There was like a red herring in the trailer with the poisonous fruit, and I think they're throwing us off like the scent. And I just read this oral history of this season in the Hollywood Reporter, and Patrick Schwarzenegger said, they gave us like false sides on like who gets killed at the end, and Parker Posey. Like it just seems like they are not the family that are involved in whatever happens. I do think there's a good chance that it is Amy Lee Wood, Rick's partner, because but the reason why I think that in the article at the end, one character says everybody's going to hate Mike White after the finale. And I think that's a character where people would be heartbroken if she actually dies.
Yeah. And also, she's had like 2 near-death experiences this season. And there's like a theme of like 3. So I think the third, it's gonna be the third that gets her. I'm
not hoping, but I thought it was gonna be Walter Goggins, Rick's character, that dies, because I'm like, how do you push that dude that you thought killed your father? He owns the hotel, so they're gonna come after Rick. And then I was thinking Guy Talk might actually have to kill or like accidentally kills Rick. But I think you might be right with the Amy Lee Wood of it all, because that would be heartbreaking. I just don't know if I would walk away then just feeling kind of crushed. Like if Rick died, I'd almost say, well, that's kind of like he went like being satisfied, like facing this fear or facing this person he thinks kills his dad. By the way, that dude is obviously his dad.
Yeah, I think so too. How anticlimactic. He just like pushes him.
I know. You got a gun with you. You're all the way there. I love
it's just
by the way, we are so heartless. Kill the dude. Kill
him. What, a pussy? No, like, I don't know. I feel like also like that whole storyline, and I think I said this last week, that I just like was so bored of it. And also like the writing, he's like, my dad, he went off to Thailand and I never saw him again. So I'm here to avenge his death. It's like so corny, it's just bad writing in my opinion.
Wait, Sophie, to be fair, our dads have not perished in that way. So we don't know if we would be saying those similar things. If our dads passed that way, we might be saying that same cheesy shit.
Okay, but I would write it better in my head. Like I would say it in a better, more creative way.
I am Sophie Ross Brooks. I am the co-host of Snarkbait, and I am here to avenge my father.
Also, it's like they did not have that conversation before they went to Thailand. They've been dating for a while. Like, what? I don't know. I just think it's like, it's a little flimsy and silly this season.
Every television show has that aspect of conversations we should have had before this. Like 90 Day Fiancé, which I don't think you watch, but it's always like conversations we should have had before this was shot. Like, it's like, I should have told this person this before I went all the way overseas to marry this person. Like, it's always things that you could have figured out like rather easily before cameras pulled up on you.
Yeah. I mean, I think in the White Lotus's case, it's like, we have to tell the audience, not show them. We have to tell them. And it's just like, no, you could show us somehow. Like, I don't know how, but like you could show us instead.
Yeah. I mean, the power of a visual format, you could probably show us.
Yeah. It's just, I don't know. It all depends on how, by the time everyone's listening to this, they know what happens.
I know.
All of our theories, they're going to be like, you guys are so fucking stupid.
but I'm okay. See, this is what gets, I like getting excited about things like this. It's innocuous. It's fun to look forward to. Now, speaking of conversations that should have like already taken place, I feel like I'm being gaslit or I'm going crazy, because why did Jesse Solomon think he needed to get ahead of flirting with Sierra rather than getting ahead of having his toe sucked for 37 minutes in an orgy? Like where like I feel like I'm missing a piece of information of like, how did he think the Sierra thing was worse than somewhat participating in an orgy?
I don't know. It's all very.
Oh, this is your guy, Sophie. This is your guy. You stand up for this guy.
I never said that. I never said I like Jesse. I never said that. No, he's having a really bad season, you guys. I'm ashamed. And yeah, it's icky. It feels coercive that he was like, I need to have this, exclusivity. Yep. That is a hard word to say. I'm sorry, it is. You try, listener.
Exclusivity. Yeah.
Exclusivity conversation with Lexi before she finds out about his orgy. So he can have sex with her also. It all feels really icky and coercive. And it also is very similar to what Wes did to Sierra last year. And I don't see any of the girls sticking up for Lexi.
Oh my God. Sophie, I said that exactly. I said, this is exactly what happened, is that Wes like hooked up with Sierra. She was like not wanting to have sex with him. They finally had sex, and then he was like, peace out, I'll see you in the New York Times.
Yeah, exactly. It's like and we talk about this actually on tomorrow's Snarkbait episode of Dark Energy Tuesday, and I'm kind of hard. I think it's the fact that like with Jesse Solomon, like we kind of like expect a fuckboy to act like a fuckboy. With the girls, I think that we all had higher expectations of them, especially because Sierra just went through this.
You mean Paige, Sierra, and Amanda standing up for Lexi?
Because did you see that clip of the after show where they're kind of standing 10 toes down defending Jesse. And I get that that's their friend and that's the person they've known longer, but not that much longer. They've known Jesse since at this point, like last summer. Like he's not a longtime friend. I'm kind of disappointed in it because being a quote unquote girl's girl, which is a term that I feel like they like to own. But at the same time, it's like, what is a girl's girl, you know?
Yeah, should we get rid of terms like girls, girls, and guys, guy? Like, I feel like it's totally useless. Just the only time these things come up and when people don't follow the girl code or the guy code. And then it's like, Jesse's like, I can't believe Emerald talked about me getting my toes sucked. He's not a guy's guy.
Oh, yeah, shut up, Jesse. It's also on fucking camera. You're on a show. Like,
you know what it is? I was thinking about, you know why he was extra confident? Because he saw that Emerald had put the t-shirt on the camera. So in his little dumb head, he was thinking he was completely safe, not realizing there was audio as well.
And timestamps. The audio. And going hard.
Yeah, which you guys, if you don't want, there's they have the audio of him in the room and he says, and now I'm hard. Which, guys, I hate to walk you through this, but I believe that means he got a boner.
Yeah. How do you explain that?
Compliments to Jesse. He told the audience. He didn't have to show the audience. He told the audience what was happening. I am having an erection right now.
Also, like, the fact that he even just, like, walked into, no matter how this went down, like, the fact that he barged into people allegedly having a threesome.
This is where I feel like I'm losing my mind.
Yeah.
Like, Sophie, you've probably in your life been in a house or a house where you know people might be getting busy in the other room. Have you ever, again, like, you know what? I should just walk in there.
Literally the opposite. I'm like, bleh! Why is it that, like, picturing literally anyone else but yourself have sex is the most disgusting thing
Exactly.
in the world?
Oh my God. There's never been any friend in my life when I've been like, I wonder how they get down. Like, I want
to watch.
I know.
Like, ew.
But like, these like literally like, and Emerald, like if I was Emerald, I mean, Emerald has his own issues, but it's just like, dude, get the fuck out of here, man. Like, we can't even show the faces of the women in that room, but Jesse Solomon's just barging in going like, what would Jess saw? Hey, I'm hard right now. Wow. Like, but Sophie, think about how long 37 minutes is. Like, think about how long of a period of time that is.
Yeah, he obviously got more than his toe sucked. I think even on Watch What Happens Live, it was such a cringy Watch What Happens Live when he was with Emerald and they were asking him about it and he was beet red. Like, I think it was very obvious that he was lying or like hiding something.
And with the beet red with the white teeth, you can tell he's red, you know?
Yeah, it was just like, obviously something else happened in there. And just the whole Lexi situation is icky. I feel bad for her and I'm rooting for her. I think she did a good job of sticking up for herself.
She did, but they're going to make her the villain. They're going to he's going to say it was too much pressure. Yeah. And even in that conversation with Paige at we'll talk about Carl's soft bar in a second. Even in that conversation, Paige is like, yeah, he's like, well, she says she like wants to date intentionally and won't sleep with me. So I'm like pretty good trying it out. Like, I can't imagine any guy's that happy having to sleep with one person for the rest of his life. And they're like, yes, there are people that are okay with that, Jesse. He's like that concept is so foreign to him.
Yeah. And he's going to be like, she's crazy, bro. Like, she really just like was so obsessed with me and like it was just like too much pressure and blah, blah, blah.
Did you hear Paige what she said at the softball game? She was like, was it the softball game? She was like, dude, if that was me, I would cut his other nut off.
But she wouldn't.
But like, because he only has one ball. He is like,
yeah.
I was like, that is dark.
She's so all bark, no bite. And I talked about this on Stark Week. Remember how she said, if you ever hurt my friend Sierra West, I will kill you. She is so buddy with him this season.
No, she'll be your best friend.
Exactly.
Which, by the way, congratulations to Miss Paige DeSorbo. She was in the New York Times today.
The New York Times.
A big story because Giggly Squad has a book coming out April 15th. And so she's the cover story. They're going to be on the Tonight Show this week. But wouldn't it have been funny if Paige was in the New York Times and she was just talking about Sierra and Wes? Because Sierra hates being talked about in the New York Times.
Or the theme of the photo shoot was her like in the mirror, like with the Sandoval one. Remember how he was like doing his hair in the mirror?
Yeah. Oh my God. Okay. One last thing about Summer House before we move on is that, okay, so let's get into Carl and Soft Bar. I mean, listen, it's a hard sell, but like, it's like if it makes him happy, I don't begrudge him that. Like I really, truly, and people were, you watched that after show where he said, soft bar was not a joke about me telling Lindsay she needs to be more soft. And he went through the explanation of how they came up with the name soft bar. But like, you know, I was like, oh, he says there's going to be coffee there. Maybe I would get a coffee at soft bar. It's a hard sell regardless. But more importantly, the storyline is now being created that Lil, Carl's magician lady friend that makes her own clothing, is potentially would like slid into his DMs before the relationship with Lindsay and Carl went south. And then Lil produced receipts and said, no, I reached out to him like months after it ended and showed the actual DMs. Where do you stand on this? By the way, Lindsay should be on Real Housewives of New York. Like, I think she's so fantastic when she's fired up, but I don't know if she has a lot of legs to stand on with this particular argument.
I mean, yeah, like it was Lil's fault because Lil said last summer when she was relaying that, she was the one that said last summer. But yeah, I think that Lindsay maybe overreacted a little bit. It's like, you're pregnant with another man's child. Like, you're doing just fine. You've moved on. Like, I think it's kind of a nothing burger. I think maybe, and I hate to say it because I love Linz, it felt like kind of like a grasp for a storyline, in my opinion. Like, it seemed like such an overreaction. Again, I love Linz. I think that she is the backbone of Summer House, but like, I don't know. And I know it plays out again, like the actual fight that she has with Carl plays out this upcoming week.
Yeah. She said, I have nothing to lose, but I'm not going to argue it today because I don't want to give him time to get his story straight. So nobody tell him. So she's going to pop it on him next week.
And she called him a monster. I'm like, okay, come on.
Listen, he's a typical dude, but like, listen, I don't believe Carl's like selling some big act. I truly believe this is a dude that is like building himself from square one. He's wildly insecure about so many things. And I can love Lindsay and also be like, I hope Carl's okay. Like, you can tell how much he's trying to get to know who he is. And that's like, you can tell it's just really hard. Even like with him dating Lil, he's just like, I don't know. She likes me and that feels nice right now. He just, I feel like, needs a lot. And that's why it's good if he stays out of real big relationships right now.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I think that he is just a very lost soul, which we know. We know that by now.
Okay. Moving on, which, by the way, who are you guys covering this week on the show?
We had Brianna Chicken Fry Part 1 last week, and we have Brianna Chicken Fry Part 2 this week, and that is kind of our deep dive that we're doing this week. But we cover so many topics on tomorrow's Dark Energy Tuesday, so check it out.
Did you see Dave Portnoy was in a speaking of Brianna Chicken Fry, Dave Portnoy had a bad weekend. He lost $7 million because of stocks tanking. This is why I don't play the stock market. I don't have the money to play the stock market. But a lot of people lost a lot of money. And then Dave Portnoy is out there complaining, bitching, moaning. And it's very interesting, these people that like tell you everything they feel for better or worse. And he was out there and supported Trump. And now he's kind of pissed. And I find that interesting in how this all will play out with kind of those big figureheads that are social media people like Dave Portnoy.
Couldn't have happened to a better person. Couldn't have happened to a better person. It's like, no, I don't fucking feel bad for you.
I know.
No.
It's like, what if I hope they don't take Mrs. Peaches from him. Or if he can't afford Mrs. Peaches, his dog, that would be horrible.
I think Miss Peaches deserves better.
No,
it's like, wait, it's Victoria Ratliff. Why are you with that old ugly man?
Oh, stop. Jesus Christ. Okay, listen, Coachella Music Festival starts this next weekend. There's a live stream on YouTube if anybody wants to watch it. But you got your headliners, Lady Gaga, you got Post Malone. They just announced today that there are 2 surprise acts. Weekend 1 gets Weezer. Weekend 2 gets Ed Sheeran. I hope anybody out there going to Coachella has the time of their life. That is a young man and woman's game. I will not be there. I will be watching from the comfort of my own home. But I mean, I'm a geek for these music festivals, but when I used to go to all the Coachellas, they would always say weekend 1 was for the influencers and people wanting to be seen. And it would be a lot of VIPs that didn't even give a shit about the music. And that's where like You have the big neon carnival party, but then weekend tour for like the real kind of music heads.
Yeah.
You have, what's the last festival you went to? Did you go to Governor's Ball?
Yeah, I used to go to Governor's Ball when I was young. I was young and so fun, you guys. You remember even. I was young and fun when we first started doing this.
You are still young and fun. What are you talking about?
No, I'm so boring now. But yeah, I went to Governor's Ball like several years in a row. I want to say like 4. And the last year that I went, I was like, I can't do this anymore. Like, you're standing so much, you're walking around so much. Yeah. It's just like, oh my God, my body is creaking now.
Your body feels it, man. Your body. Yeah. I remember the last Coachella I went to where it was like, you're doing over 20,000 steps a day and you're just waiting for an Uber for an hour and a half. And you're like, oh my God, I truly am not going to live forever. This is wild.
Yeah. But I mean, I love the content. Like, I follow all of the influencers that post about it. I love the outfits.
This is where I'm like, I kind of am enjoying live streams in my older age. Like, they put the whole concert on the fucking TV and you can sit there and geek out. It's great.
Oh my God, this guy loves music. I love how I pointed at you, but the camera's in reverse. So I'm like pointing the other way.
This guy, there's a strange man in Sophie's room. Well, speaking of a festival that I think we both should go to is Fyre Festival Part 2. The 2017 Fyre Festival lives in infamy just as a horrific event that totally went south. Well, Billy McFarland went to prison for this. He is out of prison now, and he has announced Fyre Festival 2 for the last year, and it's supposed to take place May 30th to June 2nd. But it turns out all the people in Playa del Carmen, Mexico, says we don't have a festival here. This is a complete bullshit lie. So it looks like Billy McFarland. Can you go to jail for the same thing 2 times in a row?
I don't know. He like posted, because I follow him on Instagram.
Oh, he posted Jesse Solomon and Billy McFarland in one room. Oh my God.
Oh my God. Am I a Billy McFarland apologist? No, he posted like a whole thing disputing all of this and like kind of proving that it actually is legitimate. Yeah.
He said, we have texts saying that like they said it was cool if we had a festival there.
Yeah. So like, I don't know. I feel like I would hope that he has his shit together this time. I don't know. Should we go? Should we go and write it off and say that it was like for the podcast?
Dude, if we did a so bad snark bait fight, like come meet us at Fyre Festival 2. Well, by the way, you guys, he announced none of the lineup has not even been announced. And we're like less than 2 months out of this thing.
Brian, oh my God. I heard Inside Tea, Counting Crows are going to be there.
I'll pay whatever the price. Then now it's worth my while. It was a count. Do not tarnish the good name of Counting Crows. Goo Goo Dolls are playing.
Or the Grateful Dead, I heard too.
That would be impossible.
Wait, oh my God, this last one that I like just heard just now in my earpiece. Fuck, what's it called? What's that one concert I went to and I sat down the whole time?
LCD Sound System. How dare you? By the way, LCD Sound System, Counting Crows, and Dead & Company would be a fucking awesome festival. By the way, I'm seeing Dead & Company in a couple weeks in Vegas, so I'll tell John Mayer you said hello.
Wait, is that the Sphere?
Yeah. Yeah. I'm going to a couple.
You never invite me to these things.
Dude, I would love. I don't. I would. I didn't know if that is that weird for me. Like, hey, you and Henry should come to Vegas.
Oh my God, I would love that.
Okay, well, you got a couple weeks to figure it out. Anyways, the Fyre Festival, you guys, the prices range from $1,400 to over $1 million. There's $1 million package for Fyre Festival, and there is no lineup. And he has outstanding debts totaling $35 million from the original Fyre Festival. And in New York, you follow him, so you know this. He'll do these walk and talks. He'll be like, Fyre Festival gang, it's coming. We've got the venue. More artists than you can ever imagine. Get ready to have the weekend of your life. Like he does these big walk and talks in the streets of New York. Like it would be my dream to see him do one of these things.
Oh my God. $1 million and there's no lineup.
So I did a Patreon about this, but I didn't really. I shot a Valley promo this weekend with Jax Taylor, Tom Schwartz, and Jesse Lally. And I don't know how you'll probably see 20 seconds of this hour that we were there, but I will tell you, this won't come up. They filmed this, I think, but it will not make it because it's another TV show. Guess what Jax said? He said, we were talking about TV shows, and I said, do you watch The White Lotus? And I think he said, yeah. And he goes, oh, you know what I just started? Because there's a storyline about me on it. Tell Me Lies.
Oh, wait, I watched Tell Me Lies, but I can't remember Jax Taylor's
He said
story.
he said there's a storyline based around him and Stassi.
I think he made that up because the show takes place in like 2007, and so it's not like they're referencing Vanderpump Rules, unless
no,
not
like that. He didn't say it references. It says one of the storylines is based around him and Stassi.
That's the first time hearing of it. Oh, but you know what? I think that could be true. I'm pretty sure the creator / like writer showrunner might be a Bravo fan. In which case, like. Yeah, but it's also based on a book.
Oh, wait. I'm looking at an article right here. Tell Me Lies, Grace Van Patten used Stassi Schroeder and Jax Taylor's relationship in her character study. Grace Van Patten plays Lucy Albright. I have never watched this show, so would that make sense in any way?
Yes, it does, because Stephen DeMarco is the worst person alive. And so that would be like the Jax Taylor.
So Jax was like, I'm not so sure if I'm happy about that or not. And then I was trying, like, it kept, like, he would, like, I would ask a fun question and he would go, like, this is the darkest season that I've ever participated in my life. And I'm like, you've been doing this since 2013. And I'm like, what about the rest of you guys? Like, looking back at Jesse and Schwartz. And I was like, well, what storyline do you hope they make a television show out of you 20 years from now? Like, I didn't know what to say because it would get like a little dark with Jax. And then at one point, like, I wasn't allowed to say work in progress, like, because I would give my questions that had to be approved. And they're like, yeah, no. But then I was talking about, Jax was going on and Schwartz in the back seat goes, you're a work in progress. And I started dying laughing like,
wait. I'm crying that work in progress was on like the no-fly list of things you could say.
Well, because they gave you like a list of things, and then you were allowed to submit your own things. And so, you know, I submitted like the ayahuasca. I said, oh, can we all do ayahuasca together? That got approved. But then all this other shit did not get approved. And I was like, it is wild. But then Schwartz brought up work in progress. I don't know what. They'll probably take like 20 seconds from this. And it's like, probably me looking pretty scared. Jax is fucking yoked, dude. This guy he looked like a pro wrestler. Like he was just built.
When are you allowed to share the photo that you took?
I don't know. Like, I thought they were gonna, maybe this will never see the light of day. I don't know.
Am I gonna get you in trouble by saying that you sent me the photo?
No, you're my friend.
You guys, Jax is sitting in the front seat and just the grin on his face. He's looking, it's just like the two, Ryan and Jax, just next to each other, best friends. And all I could think about was looking at you, Jax Taylor.
At the beginning of the show, I used to have like, well, and he said right before we started, he was like, I was like, hey, and he goes, I follow you on Instagram. And I was like, I think you do. And he was like, I think he said something like, do you make fun of me? And I was like that's like a real trick question. I said, yeah, I said in the past I have. And I said, but I will say I did a whole episode on his podcast where I thought I was really fair in regards to his cocaine use. But it started off the day kind of like, I was like, oh, fuck. Oh, and then Schwartz is like so damn charming and nice. And Jesse was kind of like in between, but it was like that weird thing of like, oh, dude, I can already see the post of like, oh, 4 toxic dudes in a car. I'm like, listen, I'm trying to make this fun and happy. And it was like, it was really fun, but I was like, they haven't seen the first episode and I have. And I was like, that's a really intense first episode. And then he was like, wait till you see the second episode. I'm like, how would you know? And I don't think he's seen the first episode because he has a pretty like intense first, I don't know.
And doesn't he famously like not watch any of the shows that he's on? He like doesn't watch them.
Well, he said he got the inside scoop from someone, but I was like, I don't think they gave me the full inside scoop because it didn't seem like.
Oh, I can't wait. Also in this photo, because I just pulled it up again on my phone, his face is so like veiny and red.
My face? Yeah, I was fucking a mess. I was
no, not yours.
Oh.
I'm talking about Jax. Wait, when does The Valley premiere again?
April 15th.
Oh, I'm ready. I'm so ready.
Oh, and I bumped in on the way out, like Scheana, Janet, and Michelle, not Michelle Lally, but Michelle Sine or whatever.
Whatever her new last name is, yeah.
They were leaving, and, you know, I know Janet and Scheana a little bit, and Scheana tried to get me to, it was April Fool's Day. Scheana was like, do an April Fool's Day joke at the end and say, hey, what do you think about Michelle's new engagement? And I was like, I'm not going to do that. Are you fucking out of your mind? Scheana?
Wait, that's actually hilarious. Scheana, that was a good one. That was a good one.
I can't, I don't have the, I'm like, I was scared that this was an April Fool's Day joke on me. Like, I thought I was going to get driven to a dark alley and they were going to like beat on me or something.
Wait, do you think Scheana listens to our pop culture roundups?
I know I do know she has heard parts before. I know, or when we've talked about Scheana, I know she's listened before.
I want Scheana to perceive me.
She will perceive you.
Actually, we did meet. Wait, we did meet once. It was 2016. It was like forever ago in the city. It was after her, Stassi and Kristen and Katie were on Watch What Happens Live. It was iconic. And they all walked into the restaurant I was in with my friend. And I took a photo with Scheana and we both have the same good side. So we had to just go like this.
Dude, that good side, bad side, Sophie. I don't know how. Like, I don't know what my good side or bad side is. But
you don't have one. Then both of your sides are good.
No, I feel like one side of my face is crooked. But I took a picture with Scheana and Janet and Michelle that day, and Scheana always has to remind me of like, oh, here's my good side, or this is where you go. But I always end up looking like a goof anyway. Anyways, moving on though. In the city, do you know what's that restaurant I love in New York with the French onion soup?
French onion soup.
Keith McNally's restaurant.
Oh, Balthazar,
and what's the other one? It's right by the Gansvorts.
Hold on, let me look it up.
Restaurants. Why am Pastis.
Oh, Pastis. Yeah.
Yeah, they have I love their French onion soup. Well, anyways, Keith McNally, he has a book coming out, and he is he's kind of like a housewife himself on Instagram if you follow him, because he's always bitching and moaning about guests. He's the one that took down James Corden for being rude to service people.
Yeah, and James Corden never recovered.
He lost his job. Well, get this. He took aim at Lauren Sanchez and the Kardashians recently. Well, he's always kind of with the Kardashians, but recently he criticized Lauren Sanchez for going into space and being like, what the fuck? Like, why are you, this isn't aspirational for young people. Because Lauren Sanchez was like, I'm flying to the moon with Katy Perry and like Gayle King in hopes to like inspire young women like in space exploration. And he was like, what the fuck are you talking about? Like literally in this day and age, nobody, what they're talking about is commercial spacecraft to pay, hundreds of thousands of dollars to do this. That's not inspiring young women. Like, are you fucking out of your mind? I appreciate a rich person that really goes like after the billionaire class. And this guy is always so salty and he'll just like post on Instagram like he's a 16-year-old girl, but I appreciate it.
I love that about him, honestly. And I don't know, let's just hope that Roman Roy is manning the mission.
I miss
Succession. I do too. I feel like after The White Lotus ends, like thank God we have The Valley coming up. I just feel like I keep having nights where I'm like, I have no show tonight. I don't like not having a show.
But Sophie, we have this conversation all the time. Like what I'm realizing with like prestige television, it doesn't hold the same weight as reality TV in a sense. Like The Real Housewives of Salt Lake City for me, like, to me, that was fantastic.
Yeah.
But Real Housewives of Beverly Hills, I watched the entire season and I was like, even the reunion, I was like, okay, we've been here. We've done this before. Like, you don't know what really is going to grab you until it grabs you. But then we have people that are like really putting so much time and effort and thought into their TV shows. And it's like a really unbalanced viewing experience I have in television right now. Do you feel the same?
Wait, okay. Kind of explain it again.
Okay, sorry. So basically what I'm saying is if you watch something like Severance or The Pitt or White Lotus or Paradise, these are shows like with well thought out narratives and mythology behind them. And if you've seen like the 14th season of Beverly Hills, it kind of feels like not phoning it in, but it's just way less effort. It's a show that you can be on your phone throughout the whole show. Whereas The White Lotus, I put my phone down. I really pay attention. And that may be where we also feel the slowness of it because we're not on our phone at the same time. And so to me, that then you go to a reality show and it sometimes is not hitting the way it used to because I'm watching so many narrative storytelling shows.
Okay, so I thought your original argument was going to be that reality TV is hitting better than prestige TV, which obviously
no, just the Jesse Solomon toe sucking thing. That's
so
it.
You're trying to tell me that prestige television is better than Housewives? Oh my god!
Hey guys, hold on to your coal mining asses. I'm about to blow your minds.
Yeah, but like obviously, like you said, Salt Lake City was like. When there's like appointment television, sometimes there is a reality show or a season that comes along where you put your phone down for it.
Well, for me, Salt Lake was like that this season.
Yeah.
Or the Sandoval season was like that.
Yeah. I would say that a lot of the Bravo shows right now are in their flop era, and I don't think that that's a controversial thing to say.
I don't think it's controversial, but would you then include reality shows on other streaming services as well? Or do you think it's just Bravo because we really not us particular, but the glitterati focuses on Bravo that much more than regular reality?
I mean, I think that's a different conversation. Like, did Love is Blind have a bad past season? Yeah, probably. Did The Traitors? No. The Traitors was fantastic. I think that we're at just a weird point in the Bravo story arc in that, you know, a lot of these casts have grown out of the format, like the Vanderpump issue that happened. And also they're so aware of social media and how they're perceived. So they're not being as authentic as they used to be. It's like, it's kind of just a weird time. I think that Southern Charm is trying to figure out.
We're 20 years into Bravo doing this. We're 20 years in that obviously it's going to be a little stale. I have an upcoming guest that is involved in production on Bravo. And one of my big questions is, or one of my big, hopefully I'll get to is, do you ever consider breaking the format? Like, you know, just choosing one show to completely break the format and go, let's try something so far out of left field and see if it catches on in any way. Because right now the audience knows exactly what they see at a reunion. You see them enter in their little vans. You see Andy pop by the makeup trailers. You see them with their looks. Andy says, oh my God, you look great. You look great. You look great. Welcome to the Real House. You see, we know how these shows go. Do we ever consider breaking format? And also, we see this in small ways, but breaking that fourth wall more and more. Real Housewives of Atlanta is doing that more and more this season. And I got to say, I don't mind it because I like the reality that we are acknowledging their reality, just like Lindsay is doing on Summer House.
Yeah. No, I think that that's a good point. Like, you're on a show. Like, talk about being on a show. Break the fourth wall a little bit. I think that Southern Charm needs to figure out, like,
what did you think of the reunion?
I mean, Craig is delusional and insane.
Dude, I mean, I don't know why I'm whispering like he's in the room, but like, he really does seem like, just from the close people around him, it really does seem he has like a little bit of an anger issue.
Yeah, he has a problem. If everyone in your life is afraid of you, and also you're presented with a montage of all the lies you've told on camera, and you like are like, yeah, I stand by them. Like, what do you mean?
And you still
and he goes, and everyone was like, yeah, I'm afraid of you. And he goes, then don't be my friend. And it's like, that's not a normal reaction. A normal reaction would be like, I need to maybe look inward and see how I can act to make my friends not feel this way.
He said he never would be friends with Vanita again on Watch What Happens Live because Vanita said a nice thing about Paige. And I was like, dude, you come on, man. You are old enough and wise enough to not say shit like that publicly. And what was the thing he said on this part of the reunion when Andy was calling him out on the lies? And he said, well, it depends on your definition of graduating or something. Like, it was like, did you ever graduate law school? He's like, it depends on your definition of graduating. I'm like, we all have the same definition, Craig. Like, oh my God, you are so successful that it's okay to admit. Even Shep was like, dude, you're not the same person now. You can say that I was a different, like, Shep is giving him the easy way out and Craig won't take it.
Exactly. And it's crazy how much I saw someone described as Paige colored glasses. How like we all like just for some reason were like enraptured by him. I mean, I wasn't. I've always hated
don't we all have people like that in our lives that we are so enraptured and people are like, what the fuck? That dude's a weirdo.
Yes.
Don't say that about me.
Oh my God. That's exactly how I felt about Craig the past few years when he was like a fan favorite. I feel like he's definitely had a major fall from grace since the breakup. Not because of the breakup, but because of like the mask has slipped a lot on both Summer House and Southern Charm. But yeah, that's how I felt. I'm like, I feel insane. Like Craig is the same person.
Well, but then I'll listen to Craig, and I know this is me being like, but I like sometimes I'll listen to him and I'll be like, oh wow, like sometimes I'll be like, oh, he inspires me. I know it sounds crazy, but I'll be like, that makes sense. But then the anger comes in. I'm like, where is this anger coming from? You have a beautiful backyard that you have you can hang out in that backyard for the rest of your life. You have nothing to be upset about.
Oh my God.
Do you think he'll stop reading the New York Times after this weekend with the Paige article?
Yeah, he's going to say, we're never going to be friends again. New York Times.
Craig Conover. I'm a lawyer and a storyteller, and I think tariffs are amazing. Oh, wait, I want to read you the Keith McNally thing. I finally found it. This was on Instagram. He put up a quote that Lauren Sanchez said, "The fact that we're going to be able to come back and inspire people and bring people together excites me the most in regards to space travel." And Keith writes, "Who does Lauren Sanchez think this will really inspire? The Canadians, the Mexicans, the Icelanders, the Europeans, the Chinese, the Russians, the Ukrainians, the Japanese, the Vietnamese, the Indians, the Taiwanese, or 30,000 federal workers who have lost their jobs since Elon Musk's Doge began its dirty work in January? Brave as they are, perhaps Lauren Sanchez and her 5 cohorts should keep their collective feet on the ground and first try to inspire those badly affected by Trump's crazy tariff plans before cavorting around in space." Just an uninspiring thought. Like, I love bitchy rich people that go after billionaires.
He's our strongest housewife. Did you see that Olivia Munn also said something that I found pretty profound about this. She was like, I forget, was she on like The View or something? She was on some talk show.
The View, yeah.
Yeah.
No, or was it Kelly Clarkson show?
Yeah, maybe it was Drew Barrymore. It was just like, who fucking knows at this point? But she was like, it just is so self-indulgent and so exorbitant, and just like there are so many people that can't afford groceries right now. And you're doing this. You're choosing to do this. Who are you helping? How does this help anyone when we are in, this country where children can't afford to eat? And I was like, thank you, Olivia Munn. Thank you.
Yeah.
She made a really good
point.
Isn't it
interesting? But see, this is why, like, that we always talk about that concept of the pendulum swinging. Remember when Olivia Munn was getting so much shit with the John Mulaney stuff and all that? Yeah. But it's like, nobody is universally bad and nobody is universally good.
Totally.
Unless you're Hitler or Kanye, and I think universally bad. But like, for the most part, it's like we're all like shades of really good and sometimes shades of really bad. But I love when we can sometimes like go like, oh yeah, Olivia Munn, she actually has a good point there.
Yeah, and I mean, I know that the whole like John Mulaney thing happened, and I never read his Anna Marie Tendler.
I did read it. I just finished it like a month ago. I listened to the audiobook.
Did it make you like more sympathetic to her or not so much? Because I've heard mixed things. Okay,
I want to say this, like, because I'm a dude, I'm not the target audience, but I wanted to listen to it. I will say, like, I really love Anna Marie Tendler's photographic work. Like, she's really kind of like has a real nice artist eye, and I really think she's an interesting artist in that aspect. But sometimes I feel like maybe if that is your thing, you shouldn't. Obviously, she got money for the book, and she probably wanted that money, but maybe it was best to keep some of that just for herself, because I appreciate the brutal honesty, but at some points, I don't think it made her look amazing. Obviously, it made her, I could relate to some of it. I know people in my life that would probably relate to a lot of that stuff. It really steers clear of John Mulaney. It doesn't name him once, even though it'll say her former marriage, her former this. But at the same time, here's just another confused person. And I think sometimes her work, there was this air of mystery about it. If you look at her photographs and the things that she's done, where I think that mystery was kind of chipped away at. And I think being an artist, sometimes you need that mystery. So it was fine. Like I've read or I've listened to worse books, and I don't hate that I sat or listened to it.
Yeah. I mean, like, I think also that's what I heard basically about it, is that it wasn't a great look for her. And I think when all of that went down, people obviously felt bad for her. Her longtime husband left her for a Hollywood starlet.
Well, that wasn't necessarily, I mean, it was like around the same time, but he was also dealing with like drug addiction. Yeah.
Yeah. It wasn't necessarily like, oh, he was having an affair and left her. But you know what I mean. He quickly moved on. But Olivia Munn, I think also like a lot of the hatred towards her has always been because of a little bit of misogyny, which is like any, disproportionate hatred of any woman in Hollywood. Oh, by the way, did you watch the Blake Lively, the new one on Max? Lively. What do you think of it? It's called In Dispute: Lively versus Baldoni.
Sophie, did you hear about this whole Lively Baldoni thing? Did you realize they've been in this little tussle since December?
This was my first time. I got the little recap.
This movie, It Ends With Us. I saw it. It's only like 52 minutes. By the way, it tells both sides to a degree. I mean, you could tell it was a little rushed because there's about to be 3 other projects from different streaming services that are about to come out. But I didn't mind it, but none of it was stuff that I was already, I was aware of all of that stuff anyways. What did you think of it?
I thought it did. Yeah, it was nothing that I didn't already know. But I think that it did a good job of actually presenting, important timeline and important, there's been the pendulum. The pendulum has swung a bunch of times, and it kind of explained that and the different, I think it did a good job of showing both sides basically. And it's just crazy how just mainstream this whole like mess. It's not just like the gossip bloggers and the podcasters talking about it. Like this is extremely mainstream and extremely bad for both of them.
That's what I'm saying. Think about the next time. Well, we've already done it with Blake Lively in A Simple Favor too, but think of the next Justin Baldoni project. The moment you see that name on screen, not by any fault of yours, you will immediately think of this. You will not think about anything else. And the same with Blake Lively. The same with Ryan Reynolds. This does do irreparable damage to all of their careers. It just puts it in a whole different category where we are now more concerned with the actual reality of their lives than any character that they will ever play again. And that's sad because it takes a long time to build up careers in Hollywood, obviously. A couple more things. This is on a positive note. Sophie, please tell me you watch Love on the Spectrum.
No, but everyone yells at me. I know I need to watch it, you guys. I know I need to watch it. I just haven't yet.
It is so beautiful. Does your mom watch it at least? Does your sister?
Probably. I'm sure someone in my life does.
It follows these young adults with autism on the autism spectrum, and it's them finding love or trying to find love, and they are all just so charming. And I'm not fetishizing this in any way. I'm just saying, if you want something life affirming, something that'll make you laugh hysterically, but also cry, but also kind of like, man, we all go through the same things. We all want to like have love. We all get hurt when somebody doesn't love us. There's these really basic things, but they tell the story in a very beautiful way. And I've been shouting about this show ever since the first season, but we binged all 7 episodes in one day, and I wish I had just kind of parsed it out a little bit more. But my God, if you're looking for something life affirming, you will cry at times, but you'll cry through a smile on your face. So I really, really want people to check this out.
Okay, I'm sold.
No, you have too dark of a heart for it. Wait, oh my God,
You're
Sophie,
right.
Sophie. This is such a, what if you do a Dark Energy Tuesday on the cast of Love on the Spectrum and you ruin this show for me? You're like, Connor's a bad guy. I would hate you forever.
That'd be so fucked up. No.
That would be fucked up.
No.
I don't want you to.
Because he is on the spectrum.
Yeah. Who?
Connor.
Yes, Connor. Yeah. But I'm saying that would be a bridge too far for snark bait. Okay, The Pit, you guys, renewed for a second season. I'm like 7 episodes into The Pit. That's the other new show. Are you doing The Pit with Noah Wyle?
That's another one that I've been meaning to watch, like actually meaning to watch, but that's a show that I know you have to put your phone down.
You have to, because there's a lot of big medical terms.
Yeah,
it really is ER without the music, and like really all the medical terms are used. It's done like, it's not grabbed me in the way that White Lotus or Severance has, but it's really solid. They just announced season 2 is well on its way, and it's going to take place 7 months after the finale that comes up this Thursday, and it's going to take place over July 4th weekend for season 2. So good news. You probably have about 7 or 8 months until the new season of that. What else do we have? Oh, dude, Melissa Gorga, Real Housewives of New Jersey. We still have no information about a new season, but Melissa Gorga started selling these sprinkle cookies like in November of this past year. Guess how much money she's made so far from selling sprinkle cookies?
Oh, God, I don't want to know.
$500,000.
Oh, my God.
That's a lot of sprinkle cookies. Like, that was a joke. Like, Teresa made fun of Melissa for those sprinkle cookies. And now, like, dude, Teresa needs that $500,000 right about now. She needs to start selling sprinkle cookies.
Damn.
Isn't that insane?
I am not caught up on Jersey at all. It's been several years since I watched. But Teresa is so stupid for and don't come after me, tree huggers or whatever you call yourselves.
Yeah, I think it's tree huggers,
for marrying, what's his name? Louis,
yeah.
God.
It's,
And everyone was like, he's bad.
Since the beginning. From the beginning. Well, it's like Billy McFarland, the Fyre Fest guy. Like, are we really going to do the same thing again and again?
All over again. Oh, my
God. Here's a quick hit. This is about the White Lotus again, but I don't know if you saw this. So there's the iconic theme, and they changed the theme this season. But the person who did the theme, his name is Cristobal Tapia de Vir, French person, and he has left the show because he is tired of having conversations with the producers and Mike White. So he is leaving ahead of season 4 due to creative differences and clashes with Mike White. He told the outlet that he's had hysterical discussions with producers about the direction of the show's music and likened the atmosphere to a rock and roll band story in which the guitar player doesn't understand the singer at all. He said that he announced to the team a few months ago that I was not coming back and that he purposely didn't tell Mike White for various reasons and wanted to tell him just at the end for the shock of it all.
Oh my God. That's our strongest housewife.
We get Keith McNally, the composer of White Lotus. If we get these guys into a room, that's magic.
Did you listen to his version of the intro song?
Whose?
It's out there. This guy, the composer. So he had a different version of the theme song, and it definitely feels more like. And this year's theme song is definitely, I feel like, grown on everyone.
Yeah.
It's definitely more like upbeat and it feels like the theme song that we knew from the previous 2 seasons, like the da, 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 da. And this one was obviously a different vibe, and I guess Mike White was like, that doesn't fit like the chill, serene vibe of Thailand, and like they had creative differences over it. But I thought that his version was pretty good, but I also like the current version. So, and what the fuck do I know?
But don't you love, Sophie, like artists? Like, I love artists like have these creative outbursts and explosions and like the creative process. Like, you're like, holy shit. There's this great Hollywood. I did a Patreon episode on this with the Hollywood Reporter, did an oral history of the White Lotus this season. And I found out so many things. Like, did you know Woody Harrelson was originally supposed to be Walton Goggins' role and then had to leave for scheduling differences? And then he got cast in the other role, the role of the friend played by, the guy that said he was effing all the lady boys.
Sam Rockwell.
Woody Harrelson was going to do that part, and then it bumped up against his like family vacation. But he took both of those parts and then had to leave at separate times, and so it went to Sam Rockwell and Walton Goggins.
Wow. Also, like, remember when we were talking about, was it Stanley Kubrick who would take like 100 takes to get the perfect one? Yeah. And I'd be like, I don't give a fuck. Like, yeah, looks good. Like, that would be me as like a composer. I'd be like, that sounds good to me. Like Mike,
that's music. Yeah,
that's like me at work. Like you have to like deal with somebody. You're just like, yeah, whatever. I don't give a fuck.
Oh my god, what that reminds me. I asked Jax, Jesse, and Schwartz in the car. I said, "Can anybody sing the theme song to The Valley?" And nobody knew the theme song to The Valley.
What is the theme song to The Valley? Do you know?
Everything is all right. It's all right. Everything is all right.
You know what?
I'm all right. It's not really that much of a theme song.
Remember the Summer House theme song?
Yeah, dude.
We never stop.
Oh my god, I just talked about that on the recap. Going like, remember the days where we had the Summer House theme song, and then it just disappeared. And if I'm not mistaken, didn't Dina Deadly do this theme song for Summer House? Like, she's the one that does Raise Your Glass for Vanderpump Rules.
Oh my God. Trixie Monocle. Okay, that's what Watch What Crappens guys call her. I didn't know that. It was the same person. Wow, she makes some hit. They should hire her for White Lotus. Wait,
they should hire her for Fyre Festival. Dina Deadly at Fyre Festival with Counting Crows. Are you kidding me?
Wait, also, you guys, I texted Ryan the other day. I was like, what was that song that Luke on Summer House used to play on his guitar? 2 seconds. Was not even 2 seconds. He goes suit and tie.
Suit and tie, hair slicked back. Remember when Luke Ulbrinson would bring in his guitar at the summer house and he was like good for lighting the fire and he would like pull out his guitar? And then this was like 3 or 4 years ago. And we used to joke about it all the time. And we made, Maritza made an image of like top 5 Billboard songs. And we had Luke at like suit and tie, hair slicked back as number 3, right behind like One Direction or something like that. But dude, I was thinking about that, the evolution of Luke Ulbrinson into Jesse Solomon. Like Luke Ulbrinson was like this modelly guy trying to hook up with Sierra. It didn't go well at all. Hannah got upset at him. But now we have that on steroids. We have Jesse Solomon, who is just there to get notches on his belt, it looks like.
Yeah, and also Jesse Solomon doesn't have like the passion that Luke had. Luke was never stop. He always had his guitar, like always, and he would curse. He would be like, fuck, when he messed up the words. He'd be like, fuck.
Yeah. He'd be like, Luke Ulbrinson should have been in that Timothée Chalamet, Bob Dylan movie. Woo! Oh my God. They did the first preview over in Vegas for CinemaCon of Jeremy Allen White. He's playing a young Bruce Springsteen in the Bruce Springsteen movie, the guy who does The Bear.
Wait, did I tell you that I used to think that Bruce Springsteen and Bob Dylan were like maybe the same person? I know, Ryan, I know. I'm sorry. Dude. I know, he's so mad.
The fuck?
So
Am
I fired?
Wait, what is... You would love that. You're never going to... So, LCD sound system, you're at a show, you're bored, blah, blah, blah.
Okay, but to be fair, LCD sound system, I had been poisoned by mushrooms that made me throw up afterwards. So, that was not entirely my fault.
That's okay.
They confiscated my fun drugs that weren't going to poison me. I was like, you are a Brooklyn warehouse at like this LCD sound system concert, and you're going to confiscate my stuff?
That's ridiculous.
Exactly.
Okay, I'm on your side on this.
Thank you. I'm vindicated. Redemption.
Sad news for Brittany Cartwright. Did you see this? You know how they have Jax's Saloon in Studio City, and it's attached to Rocco's, which is primarily a gay bar in West Hollywood, but they have another location in Studio City. Well, remember when they said Brittany was getting her own bar in Boys Town last year?
What happened with that?
Well, Brittany says on her podcast this week that they just let her know it is not happening. The owners of Rocco's sold Rocco's, so she is no longer getting her pop-up bar in West Hollywood, which I think is like shitty. Like if Jax is going to have one in Studio City, you should be able to have one in West Hollywood. Brittany should be able to have one in West Hollywood.
But what's the difference between Studio City and West Hollywood? Like, does the location...
Studio City's the Valley. West Hollywood is like... I mean, Boys Town is the most popular bar district in Los Angeles. So it's like, that would be such a boon, but I guess the owners sold it. And I believe one of the owners is Lance Bass, who officiated Jax and Brittany's wedding.
Oh my God, why would he do that to Britt?
Probably for money.
Oh, yeah, I guess that makes sense. That's usually why people do things.
Yeah, I did a this or that game with the Valley cast, and I asked Jax's Studio City or Schwartz and Sandy's, and Schwartz is like, come on, man, too soon, dude, too soon. Too soon. Okay, a couple other stories. Jax Taylor, did you read how he, in his most recent podcast, In the Mind of a Man, he had sex therapist Dr. Emily Morse, and he admitted to faking orgasms during sex.
Oh, I did. He's like, I just don't always get there. And all the comments were like, cocaine. That's what it does.
He says, so we would be having sex, and I know it's not going to happen for me. So I'll stop it early and be like, you know what? I really, really like you. I don't think we should do this right now, so it takes the pressure off me. So he'll stop it and say, it's because I really like you, because he knows he can't finish. That's the Jesse Solomon shit right there. That is, can you imagine that? He says, I really like you, so I'm going to stop. But in reality, he just knows he can't finish.
I like you so much that like, I just can't. I can't finish. I can't have sex with you anymore.
And he says, I would rather her tell her friends that he was so sweet. He wanted to wait rather than he can't come when he's with me. That's a little more embarrassing. Like, she's already thinking 10 steps down the road of, I want her to tell her friends that I'm sweet. So I'm going to end the sex now because Isn't that insane? That's insane, right?
But it's literally like 35 minutes later, and the girl's like, "Oh my God, just fucking finish already." Like, okay, ladies, I know you feel me. I know you.
Ladies, does it matter if your guy comes? Ladies, come on.
But it's also like sometimes you're just like, okay. I'm like, what's her name? Miranda in the Sex and the City movie where she's like, just get it over with already.
Yeah, like, I gotta watch an hour and a half episode of White Lotus. Come on. Two more things. Love Island USA. There is rumors of a spinoff. There is a spinoff, supposedly, of this last season of Love Island. And allegedly, all of the Love Island season 6 cast are going to come back. Leah, Miguel, Serena, Cordell, Liv, Kaylor, Janae, Kenny, Nicole, and even Rob. Rob, by the way, I've seen him hanging out with some of the Summer House crew lately, so I wonder if there's ever a world in which Rob would go to Summer House. But supposedly a Love Island spinoff with last season's USA cast is in the works because they're about to start work on the next season of Love Island with all new cast members. But that cast was so insanely popular.
Yeah, that was like extremely, like Love Island was everywhere and I still haven't watched it, which I know I need to. I'm so behind on so many shows, but at the same time, all I do is watch TV.
I know that. I feel like that every day. I feel like there are so many, I'm never going to catch up.
Yeah.
And then finally, I know this is probably a darker way to end, but I just wanted your opinions on Russell Brand has been accused of sexual assault accusations. And he was charged with 5 counts of assault and trigger warning, rape. And this is from allegations from 4 women between 2023 and 2025. He has already gone on record of it. Hello, everybody. I haven't done this. I'm on the beach with my family. I might have been a drug and an alcoholic, but I know I've never been a rapist. What do you think about this whole story? Because this has been, by the way, brewing for years and years. You've heard about Russell Brand, and he kind of pivoted to a right-wing Christianity pipeline.
Yes.
And some of you guys, I know some of you guys are probably fans of Russell Brand because when you listen to him, he's funny. He makes a lot of sense. And you're like, that's a really smart guy. But there are many women still coming forward with allegations against him. Have you thought about Russell Brand at all?
I mean, is anyone surprised? No one is surprised by this. We've known this for quite some time. He also, like you said, has been like heavily red pilled and has been just like, just extremely inflammatory and horrible these past few years, which is crazy because at one point he had a really, whether you liked him or not, in, forgetting Sarah Marshall or Get Him to the Greek,
had Jonah Hill and Puff Daddy as the stars.
Oh my God. Yeah. Whether you liked his acting or not, he had a very promising career. At one point, he was married to Katy. They were like,
dude, remember that Katy Perry documentary where they break up and then she still has to go on stage that night?
Yeah, he told her over text or the phone that he was going to file for divorce. And then she just had to go on stage. They were like the it couple, power couple. Like it's crazy. And actually there's like this old tweet of Trump's, I think in from 2013 or 2014, where he goes, at Katy Perry, why are you with Russell Brand? You could do so much better. That guy's gross. And everyone's like, the worst person made a good point.
We've mentioned this many times. Like Trump tweets like back in the day, he had some bangers because he would be coming for our jobs. He was like a pop culture commentary guy. Like he was going after Kristen Stewart. He'd be like, Christy, Robert, you need to stay away from Kristen. She treats you like a dog. And I'm like, is this the dude from The Apprentice? Like, what is going on here? But he's charged. He is like denying all of these allegations. This will be fought out in a court, obviously. But I always find it interesting because he's well aware that these were coming over the past couple of years. And obviously his comedy and his life has taken a turn in which, the places where he's thrown his support, and he went, supported MAGA and all of this stuff, and has conversations with Elon. And I was trying to think of all of the podcasts I've heard him do. But my thing, I've always thought Russell Brand was just kind of exhausting. Like even before any of this, I once had a dream back in the day, like when he was popular, and I woke up so exhausted because Russell Brand just talked the entire dream.
Oh my God, I had an inappropriate dream about a celebrity last night. That reminds me.
Who?
I think you could maybe guess.
Jesse Solomon?
No, he's not a celebrity. Who got nominated for an Oscar this year?
Oh, Timothée Chalamet.
Yeah.
Wait, what did you put him up on? Did you pull him off his high chair and start kissing him?
Let's just say I literally in my dream was like, I'm better at this than Kylie. I had that thought in my dream.
How do you live with yourself? Oh my God.
I don't know you guys.
Had a frustrated out there, did you?
I don't know. Like, it just happens.
Oh my God. What if he hears this and then does call you and go, are you better?
He slides in my DMs. Actually, the episode
he's like Lil from Summer House.
No, like the episode we just did on Brianna Chicken Fry. That's like how she started dating Zach Bryan. She was like,
she slid into his DMs.
No, she was talking about Zach Bryan like on podcasts and like on social media, and then he slid into her DMs. And I was like, that's like if I talk about like my favorite celebrity enough, could that happen to me?
Isn't that also how Travis Kelce started dating Taylor because he would like talk about her on his podcast?
Yeah, you're right. Yeah,
dude. You better, Henry's got to know. Can you give, like, I think I have Henry's number, but I should just, like, have a man-to-man with him in Vegas and seeing Dead and
Company. You know what? We're all allowed hall passes.
Is there bro code, girl code, and podcast code?
Yeah. No, there should be. There should be. I thought you were a guy's guy.
I thought you were a podcaster's podcaster. Okay, folks, that is it for today. I'm gonna go eat some Thai. We're such geeks. We're ordering Thai food to watch the White Lotus finale.
Corny.
Corny. You just fucking had a sex dream about Timothée Chalamet. Are you kidding me?
Shush. But we actually ordered Chinese food for dinner, and it was really good.
What are you gonna watch outside of White Lotus?
I have 51 minutes until the finale. I'm like, what do I do for the next 51 minutes? I'm just gonna like twiddle my thumbs, I guess.
You could play with your dog. You could play with your husband. Like, there's so many things.
Yeah.
You can work on the pod. Anyways, you guys, Snarkbait, remember, listen to it Tuesday. They got a Thursday episode as well, rated 5 stars on Apple Podcasts. Dude, you guys, thank you so much because I do get DMs now every day saying how much they love Sophie and how much they love Snarkbait, and keep that good energy going for that show, you guys. And keep the good energy here as well, and we'll be here all week. We got some surprises, and when that Jax preview comes out or whatever, please don't throw me a lot of hate. Like, it was a fun experience. I was nervous as hell to do it. I thought he was going to beat my ass. So be gentle this week. That's all I ask of you. And Sophie, anything else coming up?
No, I'm so excited to watch your carpool karaoke, whatever it is. I'm so excited.
Okay. Bye, guys.
Bye, guys. Thank you.